Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Seahawk Talk here on the Salve Athletics Network. I'm your host, Andrew Pizzelli, and we're coming to you live through Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to us on all of those platforms to never miss a show. We've got a great one for you lined up here today. We'll be joined by Jody Mooradian, as always, on a Monday. She's got a very special segment this week, and then we'll be joined by Adam Zakara, Pat Cooney, and Eric Sorella. Can't wait to talk to all of them and our producers, but first, as always, we remind you to keep your distance.
Better keep your distance. Better keep your vanity. Better keep your distance. Better keep your vanity. Better keep your distance. Better keep your vanity. Better keep your distance. Better keep your vanity.
That is Ed Habershaw with his rendition of Keep Your Distance by The Shake, a Rhode Island-based band with a message that we can apply worldwide. Social distancing, hand washing, mask wearing, we've heard all about it, and we're going to continue to remind everyone on the Seahawk Talk program and the Salve community to do those simple and easy things. Want to bring in our producers now, Joy Morelli and Mike DeFusco, to help kick us off here on a Monday. Oh, there goes Mike. Fellas, how are we doing?
Doing well. Nice to be home.
True.
Oh, you're finally
yes.
home, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of us have always been home.
Yeah. Some still haven't left. Yeah. My other home, I should say.
Yeah. What do you guys have here to lead us off here on a Monday?
Well, it's a big Monday. It's, I believe, the winter solstice, so the shortest, yes. And then also, as I'm sure we've all known now, I think, Joey, you said it was on Google now.
It's the
even.
Google thingy. I don't know.
Yeah.
The doodle.
Yeah, so if you go to Google, it's a setup that we got the what's it called? Star of Bethlehem being shown tonight. It should be best. Yeah, the Great Conjunction should be best visible around 4:30. So right around sunset. And then after that, if you miss it, the best direction to look is southwest. So yeah, we were saying tonight it might be a little cloudy, but we should still be able to see it pretty well. And even the next couple days, it could linger on. So. If you can't catch it tonight, don't worry if you don't feel like staying up for it or not, and you can always catch it the next day.
Cool. Yeah. What did we say last time? 1266. That was the last time we had Jupiter and Saturn this close together. So really, really cool. Joey, anything you have here to lead us off?
Yeah. Okay. Newport Film. I feel like they've been like really rolling out the documentaries this week. I realized I never opened it. Here we go. So this week, and they announced it today. Crazy. It's normally on Wednesdays, but yeah. Okay, sorry, screen. Weird. This week, they're doing I Am Greta. It's a documentary about Greta Thunberg, which is super cool. That she has a documentary when she's really she's been doing stuff for a while, but she is in the national spotlight only really this year. So to already have to be such okay, I was gonna say force of nature and I didn't realize it was a subtitle. I didn't mean to do that. I was like, what's a good
It's also a very clever joke,
yeah,
since her big thing is about
that's why
warming.
they same wavelength. But it's today and tomorrow. You can watch it on Newport Film for free. You can donate. They recommend a $5 donation for a ticket, and it's Clean Ocean Access and Thompson Middle School are helping help set this up, which I think is super cool. Not only getting the kids involved, but all that. But I'm excited. I'll probably watch it tomorrow, but it looks really good.
Again, that 4-letter word, free.
Free.
Free is the word. So cool. All right, fellas, we've got a very big first segment with Jody Mooradian, so I'm gonna let you guys get to work behind the scenes. We're gonna get to her. Our waiting room is filling up. So to keep everyone socially distant here in the virtual waiting room, we're going to move on. So,
right.
Fellas, we'll talk to you again at the end of the program.
All right.
All right.
That's Joy Morelli and Mike DeFusco, the producers here on Seahawk Talk. We're going to go next to Jody Mooradian, our athletic director here at South Virginia. Jody, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's so good to see you all cheery and in your Christmas outfit.
Festive. Festive is going to be the vibe. I don't know if I'll wear this same jacket all week. Maybe I'll have a Christmas onesie tomorrow. I don't know. So we'll
Oh my
really,
God! Well, that'll
we'll really
keep us
see.
all. That'll keep us tuning in for sure.
Exactly. It's all about. I do it for the masses.
I
Entertainment.
think I think
Selfless.
Joey and Michael need to step up the outfits too.
Oh, okay. Called out, fellas. You
Yeah.
guys have been called out. So
Yeah.
I know you had. We're going to go to you early because you have a lot of really important things you wanted to say. We've talked so much about all of the good things that have kind of come out of this situation, the COVID thing, and I know you wanted to take some time to talk about those and to highlight some of the individuals here in the South Virginia community. So I'm going to turn off my camera. We're going to let you take the stage, and now Jody Mooradian is hosting this segment of the show.
Whoa.
So the floor is yours, Jody.
Thank you so much, and I really appreciate this because last week I was talking to a young person that was interested in athletics and leadership, and they asked me, like, what's the most important thing? And without a beat, I know what it is. It's people. It's surrounding yourself with good people. And I knew this year has been so hard for so many of us and complicated and all these nuances, and there were certain people that I know that just stood right up. And so I wanted to make sure that I thanked those people and that we all recognize them, because it's hard during this time, and it certainly took more than a 9-to-5 job to get anything done this year, and we're still working on it. But that's why I had wanted to have them join me on my segment so that I could make sure to really thank them and let you all know the great things that they've been doing. So as we let them into the screen, I wanted to thank them. So I'll go right through it, but Dave Cox, Emily Miller, Amanda Karsten, Rebecca Ramirez McKinley, Corey Hughes, Janelle Iaquinto, Greg Delayed, KJ Jones, Miranda Ackerman, Matt Hurd, and Ed Habershaw. I wanted to shout out to him too, but this group of people have been extraordinary. And I know I say it sometimes, but I wanted to make sure that everyone knew it. So last week, Jenna Park sent out an email, and that's really the catalyst for me. And she had set up a GoFundMe page on her own to assist people who would need additional food for this trying time. And Jenna, I was so proud of you, and I want to first thank you. And I want you to know that that reassured me, or that invigorated me as to the reason why everybody you see on the screen is working in athletics, is working at Salve. It's because of young people like you. And it just, for this season, it made, oh my gosh, it made my heart warm, and it made me feel really hopeful going forward. And I know we've had a long year, and you've had a crazy fall with your season, and I just wanted to thank you personally. And I know everybody on the call joins me in that, because that's a special thing. So I like that Matt was clapping for you. But so first off, Jenna, how has it been going? How much have you got?
I think right now, last I checked this morning, we were just under 2,200. Yeah, no, it ended up taking off. I had no idea that I'd end up raising so much. Like, I remember setting my goal really low because I knew that during this time, like, a lot of people are struggling on their own, so they might not be able to like spare a lot for other people. But I was definitely wrong in that. It's been really nice.
Yeah. So I think like you embodied to me what we want for a Salve Seahawk. So instead of thinking about yourself and all the things that are going on, you actually picked something and you made it happen. So maybe you set your sights low, but we'll never be setting our sights about you low. So you better watch out. You've raised the bar for all of us. So we're so proud. I just quickly though, during this fall, how's it been? Like, are people still upbeat, or like, did you have a difficult fall?
I probably was like a mix of the both, where sometimes just with how everything was going, we're all like really optimistic going into it, but then obviously like you'd have your moments where you kind of like, just with everything could be kind of overwhelming, just trying to get used to the new way of like schooling, how we did sports and everything. But I think in all honesty, and like I am speaking on behalf of other people, but I do think it ended up just kind of like changing our mindset to like realize that like there are certain things that matter more than what we're dealing with right now, and just really being there for everybody, I think, is really important.
Yeah. So you get my first shout out for Mooradian Mentions. So proud of you, and we all are. So just know that. And then I wanted to bring in the others who we have wonderful people at Salve, and the coaches did all sorts of great things, but they're the group right here that you see, you put yourselves on the front lines at Salve, and so your impact wasn't just for athletics. And that's what I wanted to show today. Like with Jenna, she reached out, she's helping loads of people, but all of you that actually assisted with the COVID testing and monitoring, making all the plans, being so flexible and spending all this time, you are the heartbeat and the base. You know, you kept Salve going. So I know you had 100 other things to do. Dave, you were writing plans and monitoring with the state. You know, we can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Emily, Rebecca, Matt, you guys you were right there. I mean, with uniforms on, and I hope you know how much that means to Salve, not just to Salve Athletics.
I in particular, I look at this as us as part of a community, looking at as a place where we feel belonging, and just like any athlete with their team, we are members of the Salve community. And if Salve is in need, we step up and we reach out and we try and do whatever we can to make sure that the community is served the best that we can serve it. And that's all that we are trying to do. I honestly feel like we did pretty much the minimum of what we could do as far as that goes. Is to reach out in the time with the skills that we have and what we can do as a department to help out.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't have run without you. So definitely, I know, and there's so many people on campus as well. But I know you with Johanna, it really seemed to work, and coming up with plans over the summer was amazing and difficult. But and Matt, I think Matt Hurd, I think you might have been doing it to get out of all the coaches meetings, but then I found out you're always there.
Yeah, I was. You seem to be able to slot your coaches meetings in between the times that I was registering students.
Yeah, and like I think it was, I don't know if it was Rebecca or Emily, one of you that just gave a normal speak, but somebody had a concussion, and I was just so happy to hear news about student athletes being out there and active and having concussions. But yeah, so if you guys have any thoughts about was it nice to be part of the community? Oh, and here's Amanda. So I was just saying, I appreciate everything you guys did right out there with all the students. Did anybody have a student come in and be surprised that you were the ones that were actually testing?
A little. We had a couple. I tested some of our student athletes, especially initially, right as school was beginning, and some of them were a little bit surprised. But it was good to see them right off the bat when we weren't going to have a preseason like we normally do, where you do check-ins. So it was interesting to see them right off the bat. I think Rebecca saw a lot more than I did. She really recognized a ton of the football players. Emily saw a ton of the hockey players right off the bat.
I cannot tell you though how excited they were to see us. Like, even though they were doing this not normal thing, this not normal time, I think almost every single student athlete that were upperclassmen that knew us already were like, we're just so happy to see you and be here. So that was, I think, what made things a lot easier.
It was a little funny because you would see them kind of peeking in the line. They were like, oh, like they knew.
Oh, yeah.
They're back in the line, and you see them just peeking around like, is that who I think it is doing the testing?
Yeah.
Well, it's hard too when everybody has a mask on, and then at least it was they would put their mask down. You would actually see their faces, because that's the thing I missed the most with this fall, was not actually seeing people.
Yeah, I have to say I was surprised because some of my incoming freshmen who I hadn't seen say, "Hi, coach." I said, "Oh, nuts! Who is this?" And then I have to look at their ID to find out who they are. It's a good thing Ed took all those headshots, because now I know what they look like.
Yeah, I guess we should have taken them with masks on so we could tell what just their eyes look like.
Well, I would go and I would see them at a meet during February, and they'd have their hair in braids. And they'd show up in COVID testing, and it was in a ponytail, and I was totally clueless. I had no idea who I was looking at.
That's why you have to pretend you need the ID.
Oh, I need them anyway.
Yeah, yeah. So are you all looking forward? I mean, I know it'll be semi-similar when we get back, I think. So while I'm thanking you, I know I'm going to be seeing you doing a lot of that again. So I just, again, it was like coaches and you, it was really a different time. So Jenna, as a student, what did you think of like when you had to go in and get tested?
I think for me, like my dad is a healthcare worker, so I kind of like understand the importance of really keeping on top of it. And I know for the most part, everyone was really happy to be able to be on campus. So it's kind of like the little like, oh no, like we have to go get it, like the test or whatever. It's a little it's a little annoying just with like dealing with it. But I don't know. It's a good thing that we're getting tested and keeping on top of everything.
All right. Well, I know sometimes we take for granted all the things that we have and all the people that we know. And in the fall, we weren't able to really be together. So even just knowing you all were busy and I could walk by and sort of peek, I knew there were real people in our building helping. And then it really just came to fruition. And Jenna, I can't thank you enough for sparking the holiday spirit again for me, that there are people that are going to do wonderful things. And I know you're one of them. And everybody else, I really think we owe you a big debt. I know you think it's nothing, Emily, Rebecca, Amanda, Matt, Dave. It really is. And so we appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. And Jenna, I think you're going to save the world for us. So, so don't forget us.
Oh, I won't.
We're going to need you forever.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Seriously.
You're welcome. We're almost there. Got one semester to go, and then hopefully we'll be back to closer to normal.
Yeah. And we'll see you playing this spring, Jenna. Don't worry. And I'll see all of you on the sidelines, which is where I prefer to see you, not with a Q-tip ready to go.
Thank you, Jody.
Thank you. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a great holiday.
All right. Jody, that was fantastic.
So can I be a broadcaster now?
Oh yeah, you're a natural. You're filling questions, getting everybody engaged. You know, you watch the program a lot, so I know what I do. It rubs off. So
yeah, I watch you all the time, as you well know. I walk around at games and just watch you. I don't watch the players at all. I just watch you standing up there and directing.
Well, that was a fantastic segment. I know we didn't get everybody on, but that's because obviously people are busy, and we're going to be doing the same thing tomorrow for those who didn't make it on, because I know you listed off more people than were able to get on the call. So for those that weren't able to join us today to get their thank you, have no fear. You will get your day tomorrow.
Thank you.
So they'll tune in again tomorrow for that. Yeah, Jody. Fantastic
All right.
job. I got to just sit back and relax. Awesome work.
See you later then.
All right. That's Jody Mooradian, the athletic director and secondary host here of Seahawk Talk. So we're going to go next to the head coach of our men's and women's tennis team, Adam Zakara. Adam, how are we doing?
Hello, Andrew. How are you?
Good. So I feel like we get you in a different location maybe each week. Where are we now?
Yeah, I'm at my mom's house in Connecticut right now.
Cool. Awesome.
Yep.
Home for the holidays?
Home turf, yes.
Nice. We have, let me see if I can pull it up quick. I might not be able to effort this in the exact moment, but we do have a clip.
Look at this shirt that you got on. I love it.
Oh, this
reindeer on there? Or?
No, those are llamas.
Llamas. All right.
They're llamas.
Well, that's quite the shirt.
I won't be able to pull it up right now. We'll play this clip. Let's just see if we can pull it up right now. So here, we got a little bit of something for you to listen to, Adam.
Okay.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Does that voice sound familiar to you?
That was lovely. That was Ed Habershaw.
No, that is Sam Johnson.
Oh, really? Oh, good for him.
So I was going to ask you if you had any idea that he could sing like that.
I knew that he sang, and I actually was trying to go to see him in the chapel last year. I've never heard him sing, but I did know that he sang. That was great.
So that's part of a longer kind of thank you video. But I just wanted to play that for you. A little interesting.
Wow, it sounded like Sinatra or Tony Bennett.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah,
golden pipes. You'll have to. I mean, often we don't usually do like the Star Spangled Banner or anything before tennis matches, correct?
We could start that.
Maybe we can get Sam to start singing.
Yeah,
or sing anything before the match. Sing whatever he wants.
He's been in plays too, so he acts as well. We could do a little bit of acting as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Renaissance man.
Yeah.
Renaissance man. Sam
Johnson.
Does
it all.
I wanted to talk about you, kind of specifically, kind of generally, how you got into tennis. When did tennis become a thing for Adam Zakara? What's the story there?
Great place to ask me. Right here, where I grew up. In the woods here, as you can see around me in Connecticut, literally in walking distance, there's 4 tennis courts, and we have junior tournaments and adult tournaments. And I grew up playing since I was about 5 years old, right here in Connecticut.
At what point did you know, talk about your high school career and the search for college, and obviously you wound up at Salve Regina. When did you know that, not only were you interested in tennis, but you were going to have a future in tennis if you wanted it?
Well, it was great to get on the team at Salve my freshman year, and we actually won a championship that year, so I got the taste of that kind of success. I played 4 singles. And Ed Habershaw was my coach at the time. But then as far as like getting into it as a career, I always kind of had it as a side job, I would say. When I was in high school, when I was in college, summertime, I would teach at day camps locally. And then shortly after I graduated Salve, I started working at the Tennis Hall of Fame. And for about 4 summers, I was their outdoor club manager there, as well as a tennis instructor. So it's been something ongoing. And I also coached at St. George's for 2 years. So I think it's kind of been ongoing.
Did you know at any point during your playing career that, I want to be a coach, I'm going to be a coach someday? Or was it something that your playing career ended and you're like, gosh, I got to keep tennis somehow, so I guess coaching's the way to go?
Yeah, it was more the latter. I never thought of coaching. I love coaching now because I feel, obviously part of the team again and on a team. And I love the recruiting. I love being back on campus and part of Salve again. So it all works out great.
Adam, you've also been featured in numerous places this year. You've kind of been all over the place, and I wanted to ask you about this one.
Oh, jeez. I was hoping you weren't going to do that.
First, why so serious? Very serious look here. Talk about
They
this.
told me to stop smiling.
I was saying you're always smiling, always so happy.
I know,
and then this, I see this one, and I'm like, oh, Adam, very down to business. That is that is the CCC. Watch out, Coach Sakara means
too
business.
funny. Yeah.
Talk about this. What is this all about? The Sale magazine feature here.
So it's a local magazine. It was nice of them to do an article about, inside the magazine of tennis. I was not aware that they were going to have me posing like that. So that's kind of embarrassing that you're doing that right now. But yeah. No, it's been great the last few years, just getting involved in the community through a sport that I love, and being able to be, like I said, back on Salve's campus and helping kids out and helping the kids get their team back to where it belongs.
Yeah. How goes the planning here for the spring? Everybody is, home. Everybody's home, but hopefully preparing and getting ready to hit the ground running. Or at least hit the ground starting to stretch out when we get back in for the second semester. So how goes your planning for that?
Good question, because I literally, before I got on with you, I sent a group me out to the guys team. I'm going to do the same with the women after basically. So they were sharing their runs, how you could send a map of where they ran and how many miles they logged in on the group me. And I noticed it has stopped, and I believe it stopped because there's ice all over the roads, right? So I sent them a message. Hey guys, I hope that you're keeping it going at home. There's a lot of at-home workout videos you can watch and work out along with. So I'm sure I'll be seeing some messages when I return.
Awesome. Obviously, you're home for the holidays, but what are the holiday plans? How long are you home for? What are your plans?
So my mom, who I'm here with in the next room, it's just going to be her and I for about a week. My sister, unfortunately, has a little COVID spread to her house right now. So we're wishing them all the best. But my niece had it. She's over it. Now my sister's got it. So I'm here, with my mom. We're going to have just went to the grocery store and got a ham. So I'm going to do a lot of cooking this week, which I'm actually looking forward to, because I don't get to do it that much. So I'm going to do a lot of cooking myself.
Awesome. Adam, I'll second that. Wishing your family healthy and speedy recovery, and then for you and your mom, hope you have a happy, healthy, and safe holiday. And we'll catch up with you again next week. Thank you for taking the time.
Well, thanks very much, Andrew. Now, is that a jacket or a shirt?
This is a jacket.
Okay,
this is a jacket. I will not. Right. I don't know what line it is, but
the more I looked, I was like, that's a jacket. All right.
For the next cover shot, you got to get something like this.
Yeah, good for you.
Maybe all Seahawks. You got the maybe all Seahawks on the jacket, or in tennis balls, Seahawks and tennis balls.
All right, I like it.
All right, take it easy now, Adam. That is Adam Zakara, the head coach of our men's and women's tennis teams. We're gonna go next to an assistant coach with our men's lacrosse team, Rich Bernasconi. Welcome back to the program, Rich. How are we doing?
Andrew, it's great to be back. Andrew, I got to comment to you, the jacket, thumbs up for me too. I like it. You might be onto something here.
Yeah, the jacket has gotten rave reviews.
No doubt. Everybody has come on, 2 thumbs up. Although I could easily tell it's a jacket. The tennis coach there prior, that's not a shirt, that's a jacket. So, but yeah.
Yeah,
everybody's loving it.
Who can beat Christmas trees and fa la 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 llamas, right? I mean, it's the best. I had some questions for. I'm happily surprised. I thought Pat was coming on, but all the same questions are perfect, no matter who it is. They're perfect lacrosse questions.
And we can always go back to the Patriots, Andrew. The last couple of times I've been on, we've been opining about the Patriots, but mercifully, looks like it's coming to an end this year.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, better sooner
Maybe we
than
should
later.
just put them to bed. Worry about them next year.
Yeah. If we have time, we'll do the Patriots postmortem. I wanted to ask you the same question I asked Adam, which was, how did you get into lacrosse? You know, what's your lacrosse origin story?
Oh my God, I actually have a pretty good one, and it's one that you don't see often. I think my era, even before, you'd see it more. I went to Roger Williams, and I got there, I guess, fall of '87. I never played lacrosse. I've seen it, I knew what it was, but I never played. And it just so happened the guy who I got thrown in with was on the team, and I played high school football, and I wasn't going to play anything in college. And I was like, oh, this looks fun. Let me get out there and try it. And Andrew, I got bitten with the bug, and 30 plus years later, I haven't put the stick down. So that's where I started playing in college. And it's funny, back then, Roger Williams, it was the first year, it was a varsity program. And by my fourth year, we won a conference title. And then the next year after that, ironically enough, Coach Cooney comes into Roger Williams. So that's where I got my start, right here in the state of Rhode Island.
At what point did you know you were interested in coaching? Was it something you always had in your mind, or was it you got out of playing, or like, how do I stay involved? I need to keep lacrosse in my life.
No, I always loved coaching. Right out of college, I coached the head JV coach at LaSalle Academy one year. I coached JV football one year, and I always knew I liked getting into coaching. And I was actually, I told you one of the times, I was head coach at Wentworth in '95, their first head coach. So I was really into it, but then life took a turn. And then, like I said, 20, 30 plus years later, I'm back into it, and I couldn't be more thrilled. But it was always in my blood, Andrew. But now I'm where I need to be, and it's at the right place at the right time.
Awesome. What are your thoughts on the PLL MLL merger that happened last week? You know, the professional leagues now being under one banner. I think personally that's a huge thing for the sport to be able to grow its popularity and get it more notoriety. Instead of having like 5 leagues, you have one solid league, and you can grow from there.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Actually, my son, he works at Granite Communication, and Rob Hale owns the Cannons. Now he's into the PLL. He's the CEO there. So he's a big lacrosse guy, and he's run the Cannons, owned the Cannons. So I think he's a big part of the deal that you don't really hear the headlines from. He's a part owner of the Celtics as well. And I think that PLL was more than happy to bring him into their organization. And like you said, the PLL's got the TV contract with NBC, and they got a lot of following, social media, and so forth. There are some things I don't like about it. Like they shortened the field a little bit, which I didn't like. A couple other little things, but like you said, it's one league. It's the best outdoor players under one roof, so to speak, and it's good. It's good just to consolidate. Now you still have the indoor league, but that's kind of totally different. But no, overall, it's good. The other thing I don't like about it too. Be interested in your thoughts, Andrew. What do you think of the model that they use? It's like the PGA golf. It's like a tour every week. They play 3 games in a different city each week. There's no home team. I don't know how I personally feel about that. Maybe they could tweak it or do whatever, but I'd be interested in what you think about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like on one hand, it's something that makes them different and interesting. So when you're trying to squeeze into the small crevices of sports viewership, if you do something that's different and unique, maybe that's appealing. On the other hand, it's with an eye towards the league is popular and we're not going to have home teams, because how many people will go to games anyways, at least initially? How many people, is it worth it? So kind of not having a set home location, is that economically beneficial in the long run?
Andrew, you're seeing it now in pro sports. Like, I don't see NBA owners or NFL owners crying about salary of players. I mean, if you think about it, look at all the money that they're losing. I'm sure it's out there how much money, but they make so much money off TV and other things. TV. I mean,
the only reason people go in stadiums do this now, like if you are gonna have fans in stands, one, those fans right now are paying a lot for most games, but to go that to do that. Fantasy is driving so much of it because if you're a football fan and you want to go to, say, the Patriots game, you're going to lose out on the viewing experience of being able to flip around the channels to keep up with your team. So what are these stadiums, what have they been doing over the last couple of years? Upgrading Wi-Fi. They have more screens around the stadium that have red zone on. They show scores. They actually have boards that show like the top 10 fantasy scores that day. They're trying to make it as the next role thing that they're going to do. They're trying to get in, and it's what the XFL was experimenting with, was in arena betting. Like live betting. Like you can say, are they going to make this third down? Yes or no? And there's odds on that. And that's a reason to go to get people to get at the game. They have to be creative because if not, if it's just, hey, come watch them play live, it's like, why? It's freezing cold. And like it's $10 for like a tiny hot dog. I'd rather stay home.
Right. There's changes to come. The COVID, there's always unintended circumstances and anything that you don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see.
Yeah. One of the other things we've talked about with a lot of our guests over the last week and change here is about weather, bad weather, and snow days and that sort of thing. So for you first, what are some of your best snow day memories? Maybe from childhood.
God, Andrew, we talked about this last time. I thought you asked me about my snow game or something like that. Like I said, I can just remember playing like a high school football game or something once in bad weather. Nothing too crazy. Like I said, sometimes it's the cold and the wind of some of these lacrosse games. I can remember going to a couple recently. It's like, oh my God, it is so cold out here.
Yeah. Gaudet's pretty windy.
Gaudet's pretty windy, and just Rhode Island in general. Like I said, I've been to plenty of games at Roger Williams over the years, and I mean, it's just wind. It's just the Rhode Island weather. It's just but you know what? You have to use it to your advantage. We're used to playing in it every day, so. But yeah, Gaudet that's a windy place, isn't it? Hopefully, we won't be there too much this spring, Andrew. Hopefully, we'll be at Topa.
That is the fingers crossed scenario. But I'm sure you'll play if games are going to be played, you'll play them anywhere, right?
Andrew will play them in the tennis court. I mean, let's be honest, right? We'll take anything at this point.
Is any of the games at Gaudet, have those been some of the worst you've ever coached in?
I've only coached in one. This is my second year, and we only had the one. And it was surreal, Andrew. You were there last year. I mean, we were on a hot streak. We were playing very well, and we were playing St. Joe's of Long Island.
Yep.
And it was a game, I mean, if there were Vegas odds on Division III lacrosse, we would have been like a 5-goal favorite. And we find ourselves tied in the fourth quarter. And I believe it was March 12th. You could look at the date, but it was right before COVID. The cloud was over our head already, and we kind of knew it was going to be the last game. It was kind of weird.
Yeah,
that was my only game at Gaudet.
It was a very surreal
It was,
day.
Wasn't it?
Because the mood before was kind of, and then the mood after, hearing Coach talk to the team about everything, and you kind of felt like it's maybe a little extreme, like thanks for a great season, but it ended up being true, which is crazy.
100%. So I was actually talking. I was with one of the players yesterday, and I was saying. It works out perfect because we were talking about, actually, I ran into a player who plays for Merchant Marine, one of our opponents from last year. And we were talking about how our game was canceled this year and so forth. And we would just be so happy to have, to have the league schedule. And like I told the player, I was like, it's weird because we kind of ended our preseason schedule before we went into the league last spring. And now from what I'm hearing, what the talk is about, maybe we'll just play the league schedule. So it's just kind of like we're picking up where we left off. We played our out-of-conference schedule, and then we're going to go into the league. And this year, there's no out-of-conference schedule, and we will go right into the league. Fingers crossed. Let's hope that's the way it unfolds.
I mean, if you guys can hit the field and Joe Grimm is throwing dimes to Pat Leary like we never missed a beat, that'll be great.
No, these guys, Andrew, I'll tell you, these guys look sharp. They've gotten to shoot around a couple of times. These guys look really sharp. So, I mean, all the guys, the baseball guys, everybody, man, everybody needs to get out there and play. And hopefully it'll happen sooner than later.
Yeah. So we have time. So I'll get your thoughts here. Patriots post-mortem here. Mercifully eliminated from the playoffs. I didn't want to see them make the playoffs because I didn't think the team was going to go anywhere anyway. It wasn't like, hey, they're getting hot. Let's see if they can get in and make noise. I was like, why bother? Why get in to get smoked by the Chiefs or the Steelers? What good does that do? So what are your thoughts here? And how much Jared Stidham do you want to see the last two games?
I guess you may as well put him in. I don't think either one of the guys are going to end up being the answer. But, I was telling somebody this too. I hadn't really watched too much NFL up until this year, maybe the last couple of years. Here and there a little bit, I'll watch the Patriots. But I seem like I watch, because of the COVID and everything, I'm watching more NFL. And it just seems to me the Patriots are old and slow compared to some of the good teams and even the college teams. I mean, they need some speed. They need some youth. They need a whole jump start.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. They need they need a lot. They need a quarterback. They need.
Who do you want to be the quarterback next year?
Oh God, can we
realistically can't not say Pat Mahomes? Realistically,
right? Well, I was, gosh, one of these Big Bird here for Clemson. He would be nice, Lawrence. But
yeah,
you're
he's
not
going to be
get
long
him.
gone.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't gotten into reading Mel Kiper yet. I'm sure there's a list of maybe 5 guys. Who knows? But it looks like you need somebody who can run and throw now. That seems to be the. Or what about this Carson Wentz? Could they get this guy? Looks like he's dead in the water.
Depends on what happens. He's owed a lot of money, and so it's going to be tough for Philly to trade him. And even if they cut him, they're still on the hook for all that money. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there because Hurts is the guy, and Wentz is like, if I'm not the guy I want out, well,
right. So he's got to go.
They may just let you rot, dude. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can move on from him.
And these running quarterbacks, they're always one hit away. I mean,
yeah.
Look at Cam Newton. He's he's the original guy. He was Lamar Jackson 10 years ago. But after thousands of hits, you eventually slow down.
Yeah, Father Time is undefeated, except for Tom Brady, it seems. So, anyways, Rich, always appreciate you taking the time. I was glad. I was a pleasant surprise to see you on the program here today with us.
Likewise, Andrew, and let's put our heads together. Let's, when we do the games this spring, maybe a jacket, a theme jacket, like an ABC Wild World of Sports thing. It could be a new thing.
Bring the broadcast jacket back. I'm down. I always wear a tie. I'm a big game day tie day guy. So maybe we'll get the Salve. We'll have to talk to the finance department, see if we can get some broadcasting.
See if we can make something happen.
Yeah,
Andrew, have a great holiday season, a great Christmas, you and your family and the whole Salve Regina community.
Thank you. You as well, Rich. Happy, healthy, and safe Christmas. Take it easy now. All right, that's Rich Bernasconi, an assistant coach with our men's lacrosse team. We're going to go next to the head coach of our baseball team, resident Dolphins fan, Eric Sorella. Eric, how are you feeling today on a Monday?
Not bad. I heard the Dolphins fans chanting something at the end of the game yesterday. I'm not sure what it was, but it's about 2 decades worth of frustrations that they got to eliminate the Patriots from the playoffs. So
do you think it's a passing of the torch moment, or is it just they'll be back and the division will be competitive again next year, or the Dolphins and Bills going to run the AFC East for the next 5 years?
Well, I think the Dolphins and Bills are going to be good for the next few years and at least the foreseeable future, but I certainly wouldn't count the Patriots out. What Bill Belichick's done, and I'm sure it will be very competitive next year and into the future.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about your coaching career, Eric. When did you know you wanted to be a coach? Is it something that was always kind of in the back of your mind, or was it more, the playing days come to an end and I just got to keep baseball in my life somehow?
To be honest, I really thought that I would go on and, make a whole bunch of money, and was a pretty good student back in the day and finance and stuff. And I think that 2 things happened. First one was when I was getting ready to play indie ball, I coached in 2006. And, the team had a lot of success. I was calling the pitches and coaching third base and, doing a lot of that stuff. And I think we won, I want to say 29 games. It might have been 32. And to that, up to then, that had been the most successful, season as far as wins are concerned in the program's history. And I started working, and I was at, I want to say like Northwestern Mutual. And I hated it. I hated a desk job. I hated cold calling. I hated hitting up family members for life insurance, annuities. It just wasn't me. And kind of just thought back on, wow, maybe I had something to do with the success, the team had that year, and kind of got back into coaching. So it was a couple of things, just having that opportunity, but then realizing how miserable it was, working essentially for the weekend.
Yeah. When does that identity change as terms of you viewing yourself as, oh, I'm a baseball coach and not, oh, I'm a player who coaches now?
That's a good question. I think for a couple of years after graduation, I played amateur baseball. I played in the Sunset League. I played in the Rhode Island Amateur League, and at URI, I think after my first year, the coach there was like, "Listen, you're either a player, or you're a coach. Um, you know, Coaches don't play in the summer; they recruit, and that's just the truth, and that's the way that it is." And so, pretty much following 2007, I don't think I ever played in the amateur baseball game again, and my summers have been spent recruiting and building up the program, and occasionally playing some golf. So that's kind of how that went down.
How do you feel you've grown or changed as a coach from then to now?
Well, initially when you take over, you want things to happen, and you want them to happen, at a fast pace. And I think that um, I'm a lot more patient now. I think there was you're. I've always been fairly intense, but I'm a lot more laid back than, say, 5, 6 years ago, because you you've been a part of the program, and you want to show the alumni and the guys that you played with, that things are going to get better, and you have all these drills and ideas, and you just want to put them all in, and you want everyone to just shut up and pay attention. And that's not the way it works, or it's not the way it works over the long haul. It's not sustainable, because I would end up, just losing the passion for the game, and the kids would do the same thing. So I think, over time, you just learn to, cultivate those relationships a little bit more, and realize that those are the important things, because I'm going to have really, really talented teams that don't make it to an NCAA regional, and I'm going to have less talented teams that maybe get hot at the right time or win some games, and go to a regional. And we can't, you know, we can't look back and just solely base our success on championships. It's a nice thing, but we have to base our success on the alumni, the kids who graduate, and seeing them be successful doing what they want to do, and just continuing to build the program up, facilities, etc. So I think that's how I've changed the most.
You talked about winning. You guys have won a lot. That probably helps with growing the patience. Well, 3 rings now. I could be maybe a little more laid back. With teams that win a lot, you kind of mentioned it there a little bit, there can sometimes be complacency with a team that, hey, it's just going to continue. Why not? We'll just keep doing it. We're just going to keep winning. Is there any such thing as a good loss or a well-timed loss? And do you think that concept is something, as you kind of pointed out, you're maybe more akin or welcome to now, as opposed to, say, 5 years ago, when maybe, no, never want to lose a single game ever?
No, absolutely. I mean, I still, if we have 40 games on the schedule, I don't want to lose. We're not going into any games to play a good game. I mean, I fully expect us to compete and have an opportunity to win every single time we play. But you're certainly, instead of getting, angry, which, I can do on my own terms, I think it's important to, talk about all the ways that a game, certainly got away. And when you win as much as we have over the course of the last 4 years, and this is something that I really made a point last year, in the fall, to explain to the team, is like, fellas, we've done A, B, and C, and all like every team that steps on here, especially teams in our conference, nobody likes us. Nobody's rooting for us anymore. Maybe in 2016 it was like, hey, it's nice you guys beat Endicott, congratulations. In 2017 you ran through the conference and we're 14-2 and nationally ranked. Look, after that, nobody's rooting for you anymore. Everybody wants to beat you. And I was trying to explain to my players, because we had a really, really young team, and make the freshmen understand, but also make the guys who had been here understand that, like, everybody from top to bottom wants to beat us. And I can remember a game where we're playing each, hasn't made the playoffs in the CCC when they were here, and they've since left the conference, but we had beat them pretty handily. I want to say the first game, and the second game ended up going into extra innings. We had to come back in like the seventh inning and tie the game up, and ended up winning it in extras or something. And I remember their second baseman got thrown out of the game, and he's yelling at the umpire, and he said something like, this game, you guys don't realize how much this means. This is the World Series for us. And that's how our guys have to look at it. I mean, everybody's coming in here to beat us now. And that's, we have a bullseye on our back, and that's a nice thing because of the work that all the people before the players currently have done, but it certainly doesn't make it any easier.
It's the hunter becoming the hunted. You're not the scrappy underdog team anymore. Everybody's out to get you.
Right. Everyone knows who you are. We're not going to come up and surprise anybody. Everybody knows what we've done the last few years, and everybody wants to beat you.
Is that the biggest element to sustain success, is not having a year where that sort of mentality gets the better of you? So you win 2 championships in a row, making sure that next team understands that and figures it out before the season, because I feel like that's a hard thing to get a team to turn around in season. Is that correct?
It is. I think 2018 was different in a lot of ways, and I don't think we had a killer instinct, but we had injuries. I mean, Jimmy Fitzgerald barely pitched, and he was a huge part of our success the year before as a senior. In 2018 as a senior, junior the previous year. John Militano missed a bunch of games early. Zach Smith missed a bunch of games early. Jonathan Lynch got hurt in Florida. We just weren't able to get our team, our full team on the field for long enough to gel. But I always gave Western New England a bunch of credit that year. Just they really wanted it, and you could see some physical transformations in kids on their team and their body and what they did in the offseason. And I'm a firm believer that in order to win championships, that started months ago. I mean, that started with what teams do in the fall, and then what they do in the weight room, and that culture. You might get lucky and turn on a switch, and some good things happen because you have talent and you have guys who are battle tested. But that's certainly not something you want to rely on. But there's also an element of luck and bad call or a lucky hop, or anything can happen in the game of baseball that swings momentum, and just like any sport. And, I think you saw it in the Notre Dame game this weekend. As bad as the score was, as bad as they played, if they punch in a touchdown early, and if they convert on that 4th and 3 where the receiver was wide open, and all of a sudden he's sprinting 100 miles an hour to the sideline, that game is completely different, and it's not a blowout. And who knows? It just that's athletics, that's sports, and that's why we do this. I mean, it makes you pull out your hair, but it also gives you these memories that you get to share with people for the rest of your life.
Awesome. Eric, thank you so much for taking the time this week, as always. Always appreciate the insights. Hope you have a happy, healthy, and safe Christmas and holiday weekend, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Sounds great. Coach McKean will be on next Monday, and same to you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, take it easy now, Eric. That is Eric Sorrell, the head coach of our baseball team. We're going to take a short break and then be right back with the producers to wrap up today's show. Don't go anywhere.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
are here, dear Salve community, during the holiday season and at the end of one of the most challenging years we have ever faced. Despite all of the difficulties, what this year has shown us is that there is an unbreakable spirit at Salve. We have doubled our efforts and somehow found the strength to continue our signature mercy education against all odds. The core of Salve is true and is founded on our community of incredible people, our faculty, who are deeply dedicated to teaching and will always find a way, despite all of the obstacles, to support our students. Our staff, who work so hard to redesign our setting and processes to keep us all safe and secure. Our students, who gamely adjusted to a new learning environment and living environment and inspired us daily. Our alumni, parents, trustees, and friends who never stopped supporting and encouraging us throughout the entire year. You are the Salve community, and your spirit lifts us up during and beyond these times. For this holiday season, I send you and your family deep gratitude and best wishes for healthy times ahead as we look forward to a new year filled with light, hope, and peace. God bless Salve Regina University.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Welcome back to Seahawk Talk. I'm your host, Andrew Pizzelli. Want to bring in the producers now, Jody Mooradian and Mike DeFusco, to help close out today's show. Fellas, always like to get your thoughts first on anything that our guests had to say throughout today's program.
I wanted to pick up quickly, if I could, on something just Coach Torella had said about the bad loss question. I thought that was a good, because I think that happened to us during that season, and I think that's definitely like a really good thing that can happen at times, because sometimes you just need that wake up call. And I just thought, that was a great point, a great question, and I thought, at least for me as a player, I think that can be very necessary, because sometimes you just you go through the motions and you don't even realize it. So I thought that was a great point right there by the both of you.
Joey?
Yeah, I mean, that whole opening segment, we had a lot of plans for graphics and things on there, and then Jody was just like, okay, just bring everyone in, and I liked that, and I thought that was a good idea. But no, it's a great thing for us to have done, just to get to thank all these people who made this year possible in athletics, especially Coach Hurd and them who were doing the testing. Oh my God, that must have it must be awful. It must have been such a pain to organize that whole thing and be there for who knows how long every day testing people. They don't give those guys enough credit. That's a lot of work, man.
A lot of work goes into everything to have made the weirdest year ever run, which is why when we talk about the social distancing, hand washing, mask wearing, simple things, that's why people get upset, because there's a lot of people doing a lot of hard work, and we're just asking some people to do simple things, easy things, and if you don't do those, that's why people get upset. So, but yeah, no, can't. We're gonna have more guests on tomorrow for Jody to thank. Some of those who weren't able to make it in today. The waiting room was full. We were confined by technology with how many people we could put on the screen. So for those that didn't get their chance to have Jody extol their virtues, they'll be joining us tomorrow on the program as well. So any other last closing thoughts from you guys here on the show?
Maybe I'll tease this for tomorrow because I want to go over it a little bit. But Salve got some publicity in the Boston Globe. Kelly Armstrong, some quotes in there on an article released the other day. So I'll tease that, and I'll share that a little bit more tomorrow.
That's cool. I had seen something this morning. I tried to find it. When I woke up, there was some news on my phone. I cannot find it anymore. That I was gonna bring up on the show. Fun news, I guess for me. I just heard something hit my window. So it's going to be fun to go find out what that was. I just heard a thump. That's why I turned around and
Joey's getting
Hoping
eggs.
it's like an icicle, not like a bird.
It's teenagers doing their Christmas egging.
There are teenagers in this neighborhood. Are you kidding me?
Those kids.
All right. Well, fellas, great work as always. I'll let you guys go, and we'll talk to you tomorrow on the show. Only 2 more episodes this week because we'll be taking Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off. So it's going to be a short week.
Wednesday, we got to reveal our
oh, yes.
favorite
Wednesday
movies.
we'll be revealing our top 5 favorite Christmas movies. So, yes, we'll tease that as well. So, all right. Great work, fellas. That is Joy Morelli and Mike DeFusco, the producers here on Seahawk Talk. Again, want to thank our guests here today. We had a loaded first segment. Jody Mooradian, our athletic director, had on a number of guests, which she thanked for their efforts throughout this semester here for both the athletic and the Sal Virginia community at large. So that's definitely worth going back and listening to. If you're one of the people she named that wasn't able to get on screen, fear not, you'll be on tomorrow. Jody's going to come back and continue that segment. We also were joined by Adam Zakara, Rich Bernasconi, and head coach Eric Sorella. So a loaded program here today. Again, short week, just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, but quality over quantity this week on Seahawk Talk. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, where you can catch every edition of the show. Go back and rewatch any past episode of the show, and you can also subscribe to the Seahawk Talk podcast through Sounder FM or wherever you get your podcasts from. That'll do it for us here today. Hope you all have an enjoyable evening. We'll talk to you all tomorrow. I'm Andy Pizzelli. Have a good night.